Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a die-hard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank you for listening. Please subscribe. We have some breaking news, and it's not good. Ausar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart will be missing the remainder of the season. So we have like 3.5 weeks left, 14 games left. They're two key players, two of our best defenders. And, it's been a nightmare of a season with injuries and coaching decisions and everything that's going along to it. And now this is, we're so excited to see what could happen, and to see, we didn't even get to see them play with Quentin Grimes and Fontecchio, so it's just been a struggle. And the core four, some people are, I talk about the core four recently, and it's not all good, but do they fit together? But we never really got to find out. They still played very, very few limited minutes when you look at the whole season, and there's injuries have been a part of it. But anyway, Ausar, it's scary. So we watched him play. He played the first quarter against the Mavs. He shut down Luka Doncic. He couldn't make a shot. He turned it over like 5 times in just really a small amount of time. He shut down the best scorers on like every team. His minutes guarding all these there's like 12 of the best scorers in the NBA. When Ausar guarded him, they shot like 33% or less. These great players, and now he's been treated for a blood clot, and Dr. Romo Shihab from Henry Ford Hospital is going to be overseeing his care. They think that he will be fine, that he'll be cleared for non-contact basketball at the conclusion of the season, and that he will be able to ramp up during the summer and be ready for next season. That's what the report is. And I talked about this in the last episode. Why don't the Pistons ever tell us? Well, now they finally released it, but they've known that's what he's been treated for quite some time. We see him sitting on the bench, and they said illness, and this is too long to be the flu or whatever, and he wouldn't be sitting on the bench if he had the flu. But it's heartbreaking because I love, Cade's my favorite player, but I can't say that I even enjoy watching Cade play any more than I love watching Ausar play. I did not want the Pistons to draft him. I wanted them to draft Cam Whitmore because we needed shooting, and now all these people are talking about, and I'm not saying I love him. I love Ausar. I enjoy watching him play defense and everything, but I knew we needed shooting. I knew we needed a shooter, and I was even willing to draft Taylor Hendricks above Ausar because Taylor Hendricks can block shots and shoot the three, and it's proven out that Cam Whitmore's having a great year for Houston. And it didn't start fast, and they had too many players at his position, but he somehow played well enough that he got to play a lot. But anyway, it's just heartbreaking because Ausar loves to play, man. It's evident in every fiber of his body and every word that comes out of his mouth that he is all about playing basketball, and hopefully he will work on his shot. He only shot 18% on threes this year. So Ausar, he played in 63 games, averaged 8.8 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 2 assists, 48% from the floor, and that went up a lot at the end of the season. And his three-point shooting did get better at the very end, but it was a concern. And like I mentioned this before, he's at overtime elite, and everybody's saying, well, he's just got to work on his shot. And there's guys like Kukahil, and Ku's all about, he's our second best player, that he's all for him, that that Ausar and Cade are the two that we should keep, the two best ones, and they may end up being the two best ones. But you just got to know that he wanted Ausar before the draft, and so now whatever happens, he's just all about. But and at the same time, Ku was always saying, he just would go on rants. We got to put shooting around Cade. We can't put shooting. This is malpractice to not put shooting around Cade. And then his two favorite players are Ausar and Killian Hayes, and so that it's kind of a little bit ironic, but yeah, he can work on his shot during all this time. He can really, there's non-contact. He can just work on shot after shot, but he's a hard worker. He's a diligent, hard worker. I watched him shoot at the Palace, at Little Caesars, and he really was focused on shooting right. And I think that's part of his problem is he focused so hard that he was tensed his muscles up and just didn't relax and let it shoot. I do think his left hand is too high and too far behind the ball to be able to shoot consistently good. But anyway, it's just heartbreaking for our team. We're not as good when he's not on the court. He does so many things for our team. But he averaged 25 minutes a game, so that was disappointing because he was playing a lot. Then Monty all of a sudden decided, even though he played great, that he wasn't going to play much, or it was up and down. And then his per 36 numbers, if he played 36 minutes, his numbers would be 12.6 points a game, 9 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks. And those are impressive numbers. And he is an impressive all-around player. Plus his on-ball defense and help side defense are off the charts. And he is great in transition. He's only going to get better. So that's the other sad thing. Even though it's only 14 games in 3.5 weeks, he's not going to get a chance to get better. So, yeah, that's really sad for me, and sad that Stew's going to be gone. So, Stew, here's the thing. I mean, you never know what about guys being injury prone, So Stew has played only 46 games this year. He's in and out with injuries all year. So 46 out of 82. That's what he's playing this year. And then last year, he only played 50 games out of 82. So he's this big muscular guy, and I don't know. Like I said, he played 68 his rookie year, 71 his second year, and then, like I said, 50 last year, and only 46 this year. So he did get better. This year he averaged 11 points per game, 6 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 49%, and big one, 38% on threes. Even though they didn't guard him, and even though he was pretty much a reluctant shooter, that's probably guys just laid off him, but he improved. You got to give him all the credit in the world. He went from 33% last year to 38% this year. That's a huge jump. That's again, he by the end of the year he would pass up threes, and he only was shooting like about 2 or 3 a game, but he is he's that good. He plays hard. He's all about all the right things. He brings a high energy and toughness to our team, and he's a great leader of our team. And so he'll really be missed. So the problem is, here's what I said in prior episodes, that we're short players. We do not have enough NBA players, and that's why I was so excited when we finally got Fontecchio and Grimes, because we got 2 more. And I said, before next year, we need like 3 NBA players. Our bench still gets killed. Guys will show flashes, but our bench still is not good enough and strong enough. So again, we need shooting. We need a 6'9" guy, and hopefully we can get Ricochet. That's my goal. And then we're gonna have to sign or trade for another player, and that's what I hope happens. So yeah, it's tough luck, man. These guys, it's tough for Stu. He likes to play, and I'm sure he's disappointed, but it makes no sense to take any chances with Stu or Ausar, because, again, 3.5 weeks, 14 games. By now, there's no point in it. So the only good thing is, I guess, it's going to probably make it so we can't improve our draft position. That we'll probably still finish down for sure in the bottom 2 or 3. And so that's a bummer. That makes a difference. Here's what people don't get. They could say, well, this young core 4 is no good. Otherwise we wouldn't have only 12 wins. You're right, but there's a lot more to it. Young players don't win, and I know you don't like to hear that as an excuse if they're talented enough. All these guys are 22 or 20, and the other thing, though, is you have to surround them with somebody that can shoot, and we didn't. And we got to surround them with guys that can defend. The other guys around them have not been good. We have had a lot of games this year where our core 4 and we go into the game and we have a lead, and the bench comes in and plays like 8 minutes or whatever, and they're minus 14. So we go from being ahead to going. We might be up by 7, then all of a sudden we're behind, and so you lose games, and it's not that the core 4 can't win. And again, there is some problems with the lack of shooting in the lineup. But if you put Fontecchio in there and then get some other shooters, I think that things can improve. But anyway, I just wanted to jump on, get the breaking news to you. And I'm going to be on again tonight after the game with the Pacers. But I appreciate you listening, and be the reason that someone feels cared for. And go Pistons. Let's beat the Pacers shorthanded.